The first exercise is the clamshell. This one you're going to lie down on your side with the hips and knees slightly flexed. And with your hand, you're going to feel where your glute med is, which is the lateral posterior side of your glute. And what you're going to do is just to open your knees apart and hold for 5 seconds. And with your hand, you're going to be able to feel the activation of the gluteus medius. And you can progress by adding a TheraBand. And same here, you're going to hold for 5 seconds at the top and then come back down. The next exercise is the side lying hip abduction. So this one, you're also lying on your side. The bottom knee is flexed. The top knee is aligned with your trunk, nice and straight. And with your hand, you're going to feel the glute med. And you're going to lead with your heel up, bringing your leg up to the ceiling and hold for 5 seconds and bring it back down. Be careful here not to bend at the hips. And again, you can progress by adding a resistance band. Next exercise is the side plank. So this one, you're just going into a side plank position, making sure that your body is aligned in a straight line. Hold it as long as you possibly can. To progress, you lift the other leg to work on the opposite gluteus medius. The next exercise is the hip hike. So this one, you're going to grab a chair for balance, or you can hold on to a wall. And the movement performing here is moving the pelvis on the femur that is standing. So we're standing on one leg. The pelvis on the opposite side is dropped down to the floor and then brought back up again by contracting the glute med. Okay, so here, be careful not to bend the knee. The knee is nice and straight, and all the movement is coming from the pelvis up and down. Next exercise is the standing hip abduction. So this one, you're standing on one leg again with holding onto a chair or a wall. And what you're going to do is set your hips nice and level while you're standing on one leg. Once your hips is level, you're going to bring the opposite leg out to the side, leading with your heel, and come back down. So you want to hold for 5 seconds and then come back down. To progress, you can add a resistance band, making sure your hips is level before you start the exercise. Always leading with the heel first. And you can progress further by bringing the TheraBand down all the way to your ankle. Set your hips nice and level before you start the exercise. The last exercise is the single leg squat. So in this position, you're going to set your hip nice and level, and standing on one leg, you're going to hinge at the hips forward and then bend your knee to come down, making sure the knee is not collapsing and keeping your hips nice and level, and then come back up. So on the side, it looks like you're about to go sit in a chair. So you want to go low enough so that your back don't start rounding. So here you can see that I'm starting rounding my back right here. So that means it's too low for me. Eventually, you want to progress to the point where you can do a single leg squat to have a seat on a chair while keeping your knees out and your hips level. So here you can see that I'm not quite ready for this exercise yet because my knees start shaking and my hips start shaking as well.